I'm back again, another episode. INTDL host slash at this point it's not really chef, but Shem slash Shermir. Today's guest is, I mean, honestly, at this point, I feel like she's getting to the point maybe world renowned, but definitely a local leader. Amazing. I want to say talk show person, brand ambassador, a person who knows herself very, very well. Her personality brings a lot of people out. And on top of that, she has an amazing show. I want to welcome Jenn, aka AskJenn. First off, how are you?
I am fantastic. How are everybody? I am doing amazing. This looks so tasty. I cannot wait to eat.
So what we're gonna do first off is do a crab po' boy. When I thought about the summertime, I was like, I don't know what we're gonna probably do. I want to do something refreshing, but like not too heavy. I think a crab po' boy is excellent, and I was like, do I want to do a cold or hot? And I'm like, let's do a hot, and everything else is gonna fall into place. You are no stranger to cameras because you obviously have your own show, but also you are an amazing person when it comes to doing types of events or hosting events or even being a brand ambassador. So with that being said, I was like, what better person? And a friend of mine, Jasmine Cofield,
Shout out to Jasmine.
she invited me. I mean, well, I invited her, and she was like, hey, look, like I think you would be an amazing guest. I was like, all right, let's reach out and see if we can do it. And so this is where we are now.
And we here.
So with that being said, let's start off with what do you want to do first with this crab po' boy? Like, what do you want on it?
I feel like what I want on it, I definitely want some of this remoulade. I want
Okay.
some of the dill, garlic, what have you. But for me, making sure the bread is toasted perfectly and very, very buttery is really, really important to me when it comes to like a hot sandwich. So I want a little char on my bun when we get there, okay?
You want a heavy char or you want it like a deep brown char?
Heavy.
Okay.
I need a little crunch.
Ooh. Okay, I got you.
Bet.
We got you. So what we gonna do? I'm gonna actually turn this up because I feel like you don't want a heavy char. We gonna
There we go.
go with this.
Are these like chopsticks that don't come apart?
Well, tongs. Yeah.
There we go. Them is fit. I'm like, I ain't seen no tongs that look like that. Period. I need to give me some of these.
Back in my chef days, that was like I was one of my key instruments because like whenever we did stuff, for you obviously don't know, but I had worked at a few restaurants. One of them being Petty Cash,
I love
Oak
Petty
and
Cash.
Rio. So for me, like my tongs are like the people were like, why you got purple tongs? One, purple's my favorite color,
Ooh, okay.
and secondly, they look good.
The color of royalty. Now that you said something, like I watch a lot of cooking shows. Like I watch Guys Grocery Games, Chopped, Spring Breaking Challenge. When they be decorating, they be having the little tongs that look like this. I'm like, I think I know a little something.
See, look, and you also say you know how to cook. So with that being said, you need your own set of tongs. That's what
I need my own set of tongs. I'm not buying them. So whoever watched this, I'll put them on the Amazon list. Come pick them up for me.
Listen, Mother's Day was last month. So with that being said,
Mother's Day, my birthday just passed.
Ooh,
like
happy
my birthday
birthday.
was in April, but I celebrate my birthday all year because I think I'm important.
everybody's important. So that's the most important thing. You are important because you do a lot of great things for the city as well.
Thank you.
So what we're about to do is toast the bread.
Yes.
You said that you want
Toasting the bread with the mayo, major key. Oh, yeah, I like this already.
So with the deal, so all right, I didn't heavy salt the butter because I felt like we're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff to the crab already. So I'm about to go ahead. This is still kind of hot. So how much crab do you want?
Big crab.
Big crab.
Mr. Krabs meat.
All right, you go. Hey, look, I'm sorry, Mr. Krabs, bro. We about to get you right. You can't be
Big
cheap today, bro.
crab.
So with this, I'm about to go ahead. We want to
What,
do it.
okay, you a chef. You can tell me, what brand lump crab do you buy?
This one is just, I don't, personally, it's not, all right, how can I put this? If I'm in a restaurant, I'm going to go to a purveyor.
Okay.
But if I'm going to just any, you can go
Right.
to any store, like whether it's Kroger, maybe BJ's, maybe you go to Sam's Club. Preferably, depends on where you at. If you want to go cheap, then you probably want to go to like Kroger and Meyer. But if you want like really, really good crab, you go to like Sam's Club or BJ's.
I'm a Sam's Club, Costco girl.
See, that's what you got to see. That's what
Bet.
you got to know.
I'm already in the know. I'm already hip, a chef, period.
See, look, you already know. So, when we get this started, I'm about to go. This is still toasting. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
while.
I know. You know, I want mine black so it can stay there for a little while.
Yeah, we gonna let that
Bet.
With your crab, what you want to go with far as seasonings? I'm just letting you know. The remoulade is gonna be really good, but we're not gonna cook with it just now.
That's fine.
We can go.
I already told you I wanted that. I definitely Old Bay.
Okay.
Lemon juice. The pickle onions got to.
We're gonna do that as a topper, so
Perfect.
it's gonna be we're gonna be good with that one. Any salt, black pepper?
Pepper me. I love pepper.
Okay, we got you. Look, on this show, we are no strangers to seasonings. Remember that. So, obviously, me and Derek were talking about this before the show, but he honestly didn't know how AskJenn started. So I guess I want to ask you.
Ooh.
I told him I felt like it came from you having a social media presence, and you were more so like a homegirl to other women on social medias when they asked a question, you probably had to answer to something, and then it obviously grew to be bigger than what it was, and now you have AskJenn, which turned into you not just being AskJenn, but you've done a lot of interviews for yourself.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna talk about that later in a portion. But from your perspective, how did AskJenn start?
I like to tell people AskJenn was not my idea at all because it wasn't. Very similar to what you said. I just had a following on social media. People knew me as a friend with resources. I know people, I know places, I know things. So people wanted a suggestion or wanted to know what to do, who to dump, where to go. Like people asked me. A guy named Barry, he is the founder of a network called the Uprising Network that has been here in Detroit for almost like a decade. And he had been following me on social media for quite some time. And he had a series of other shows on his network where I was a guest on other people's shows. And he was just like, he saw my humor and saw how I interacted on camera. And he was like, you know, if you ever want a show, like, hit me up. And this had to be like, this was before I had my daughter, so this had to be like 2017. I'm thinking this is a man just trying to be polite, saying if you want a show, hit me up, whatever. Never thought about it, never gave it a second guess. The pandemic happened. It was 2021. All of the shows on the network had fallen off at this point. People weren't really recording. And he was like, he DM'd me on Twitter like, hey, remember I said if you want a show, like hit me up. I'm ready to like relaunch the network and I want you to have a show. I was like, me? So he was like, I was like, I don't know what I would do. And he was like, let's meet up and we'll think about it. We'll talk about it. So we met up. He took me out to lunch and we were talking. He was like, so if you was to have a show, like what would it be about? And I was like, like people ask me stuff all the time. He's like, what do you mean people ask me stuff all the time? I'm like, people tell me about their lives and ask me to like weigh in. People ask for my opinions. People ask for my suggestions. Like people care about the things that I have to say. And then he was like, so if we had a show, like what would it be? I had a friend named Kelly. He was like, what would it be called? I was like, I have a friend named Kelly who I've known since elementary school. And she always say like, I don't ask Jeeves, I ask Jenn. So I was like, we can call it AskJenn. And then we got a show.
And look at you now.
Look at me now.
Like you've grown AskJenn from I think what it started a few years ago.
Yep. So what? 2021.
Okay, so 3 years.
3 years.
And you've gotten it to a point where I feel like you can't go anywhere in Detroit without people knowing who you are or at least asking about you in general.
Yeah.
Whenever you're gonna show up or wherever you're gonna be at. So I think that's also people don't understand. Detroit is big, but it's so small.
Detroit is small. That's all I'm learning. I find out every day. Like I done met with somebody like, oh, this such and such cousin. I'm like, I done known this person my whole life. What you mean? I never seen y'all together. Detroit is so small.
I think what's beautiful about Detroit is also is that like even though you may not know somebody, you know somebody that knows that person.
I love it.
And that's the biggest thing. Is that that's how this word of mouth is always the most important thing. And how it always starts. So. We're almost done with your bread. I feel like you want to go deeper than that?
I think that's good.
That's good.
I think that's so good.
You're going with that one as well.
Ooh, yeah, that other side, that's what sold me right there.
So we're going to go with this. I'm no stranger to heat, so we're going to go. Do you want to go remoulade on top, or do you still want to just wait until we put the crab on there and then we figure it out?
When you say remoulade on top, you mean like on top of the crab or on top of the sandwich?
Yeah, we can just put it as a spread. Or
no, I want it on top of my crab. I want it to finish with
you want it to be, okay.
Yes, I want mine saucy. I'm a saucy girl. I like sauce.
I think we had a burger yesterday, and like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was skeptical at first because I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. But we broke it down. We did like an egg on top, amazing, and I feel like this is gonna be even better though. I think the crab po' boy.
The best for me.
Hey, look, always, yo, you look. This weekend is about the guests, and you are one of the guests. With that being said, this crab po' boy is gonna do you right.
Period.
And the wine.
You don't understand. I just be wanting to eat.
So, I guess
I've been eating good all weekend. Now that you said something, this is.
Where you go? Let's
my
talk about
very
it.
so my very good homegirl is a chef. She has a catering company called Purposely Prepared. She does like dinner parties for us every once in a while. This was our first one on the summer, so we had a summer bucket list party. Tex-Mex mix. She made shrimp ceviche, ghetto nachos, street corn. It was so tasty. Then yesterday, El the Foodie had a pop-up at Two Birds. Everything was fantastic. And today I'm eating food by you. So yeah, I can't lose.
Hey, look, first off, you can never lose when food is involved. Let's put that out there right now. And secondly, you had an action-packed weekend. So
that be all my weekends. It's when Nipsey said marathon mindset, he was talking about me going out Thursday through Sunday every week. All that other financial literacy stuff, that's not what he was talking about. He was talking about being drunk and being able to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning and take my baby to the park. Like, that's what he was talking about. Marathon mindset.
Do you want to taste anything before we put everything together?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So we have spoons here.
Yes.
Let's go with these. Go ahead and taste. You can taste the crab first. You want to taste the butter? Okay. I'm letting you know right now it's butter, but you might.
I like butter.
Okay.
I'm very greedy. I don't know if you can tell. Oh yeah, where do we got some of that already?
Yeah, we put that in there.
Bet. Okay, wonderful.
All right. See what that tastes like. Let me know.
Okay. You might know a little something. Okay, I'm gonna taste the crab.
If we gotta put it back in there, let me know.
Oh no, I like this.
Okay.
You did good.
I'm doing good. We doing good so far. I gotta.
Crab cakes is my favorite appetizer, right?
Look, hey.
So I'm very, very picky about crab, cause it all gotta come together. But I'm messing with this.
This one?
Yeah, you did good.
Okay. What else you want to put? You want more sauce in here?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
We gonna make sure it's enclosed.
There we go. Just like that.
So, all right. You say you want tomatoes or you want the onions?
Both.
Okay, good.
Why not have both? Okay, I live an abundant life.
Listen, this is why we got you on the show. This is why we're here. All right. Let me know when to stop.
I love pickled onions.
Okay.
Okay, you can stop now.
All right. It is a tradition on the show that our guests name what we're about to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this. Come over here with a nice. I'm praying that we can close this up and then we can cut it for you. But if not, I don't know if
it
you
fall
want.
apart, that's fine too.
All right. So, what you want to name this dish?
I just told you I live an abundant life, so the name Po' Boy is just not given for me.
Hey, Chef, turn it around for us.
Oh, you want to turn? Okay, you want to see the? You want to?
So, and crab is I think is a luxury type of meat. So we're not gonna call this a po' boy. We're gonna call this a rich girl.
Rich girl. Okay, hey, look, now we talking. You want this cut or you want to eat this just like it is?
I want it cut. I'm not gonna be completely classless on camera. You can cut it.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna come over here, move this stuff around, just so you can have like a plate and everything. You want it on a bias? You want to cut straight?
What the hell is a bias? Like diagonal?
Yep.
No, you can cut it straight.
Straight up.
That's perfect for my mouth. Oh, yeah. Look at you. See the sauce? You see why I wanted this sauce on there? Okay.
All right, hold on. We're gonna make sure that everything is in here.
Okay.
Everything is enclosed when you grab it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Let me know.
All right.
I can't eat it first.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know.
All right. Oh, I gotta make sure I get a big bite with pickled onions in it. Okay. Baby.
The rich girl.
This rich girl.
This the rich girl. How you feeling?
I can eat these every day.
Abundant, expansive, crabunctious.
I'm gonna eat this whole thing on camera. I'm gonna show you.
First off, I'm just glad that I just made something.
I know you said you not going you can't eat this first, but you're not gonna eat any at all. This is mine.
No,
so you could
go
there
ahead.
make your own.
I got you.
This is mine.
I am not trying to get.
Thank you.
This is for you.
Enough.
Abundance, expansive, cabulicious, AskJenn, the rich girl. That's it.
This is so fire.
Thank you.
You a real chef. This is a good. No, I watched you make this sandwich. This is so good.
I appreciate you. Take 50. So no. So interviewer becomes interviewee. Jenn, I gotta say thank you for even coming on the show once again. Thank you for trying my food. It wasn't trash. It wasn't bad.
It was fantastic. I want one of those every single day. And because it's seafood, I think it like might have less calories. I know it got like mayonnaise on it and stuff like that, butter, but we'll look into that. Anyway, I eat one of those every day.
You're not worried about that. The other stuff, like, look, if you got a trainer, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, yo. But we wanted to make some good food, and she enjoyed it, so that was just it.
Good food has butter in it. So I grew up in a house that like my dad was diabetic, so we always did vegetable spread. We never had butter. So when I grew up and I started grocery shopping for my own house, I started buying butter. I said, baby, I've been missing.
I need this in my life, and I've been wanting
butter.
it. No, that's one of the, like, when it comes to food, man, a lot of good food comes from bad things that we say is bad, but like, it's not bad. It's just that everything needs to be helped in moderation, and people don't understand that part. Is like, of course, you might catch a lot of high blood pressure if you're eating this stuff every single day. But if you're eating every once in a while, like fried chicken, or you're having like a nice like fried egg, bacon, whatever, then you looking like, all right, I might have to go to the doctor today. But everything in moderation. So like, just switch it up. It's like, hey, you feel me? Look, that's all you gotta do. So yeah, I genuinely want to know, like, as an interviewer, is there ever points and times where I'm not going to say feel nervous, but do you ever feel like you might lose yourself in the interview in a sense?
Oh my gosh, yes. So one thing I can say about my show for the most part is when I seek out people to interview, there are people who seek out to be interviewed by me, and that's fine. But usually when I seek out to interview people, these are people who I'm a fan of, right? So it's like me halfway trying to do my job and me halfway trying not to fangirl and making sure that this person that I'm a very big fan of, their story gets told properly. So I get very, very nervous. I have to tell people I'm nervous every time I record an episode of AskJenn. I'm nervous every time I host an event. Like, there is no way to expect the outcome as long as other people are involved. So I just be, I be ready for whatever.
No, I feel that. Do you free ball it, or do y'all have like a time constraint? How does that look like for you as far as like the questions that you ask or you want to ask, but you might not have the time for?
Ooh, I ask it anyway. Like, as far as like, I don't care about having a long episode, but if I talk about everything that I want to talk about, I'm okay with that. Usually what I do is I watch interviews or re-interviews of whatever guests that I'm having, if they had some in the past, and I try to do my best to make sure that A, I just touch on high points in their career, and B, ask questions that I know that they haven't been asked before. And of course, C, the stuff I want to know too. This is about me. This is my show. Like, that's important too. I make sure I sneak some of that in there. So there's not really a time constraint. What's most important to me is making sure everything I want to say gets said on camera, because I'm the star.
That's the biggest part. And it's your show, obviously. So that's the whole point.
Okay, if you don't want to be asked nothing, don't come on AskJenn.
So that brings to the next point. So like, when you went from AskJenn to now Odyssey, bringing on anybody on the show, whether it's Governor Whitmore or it's Alicia Baumgartner or even Dennis Reed, or I'm not sure how you say her first name, but the owner of Detroit Flower Company.
Oh, Janai. That's my girl.
Okay,
yes, that's my girl.
So when you went from AskJenn to now pretty much interviewing people with statuses and people who actually have a really big pool in the world, when did that switch happen, and what was that for you as far as like, I guess, validation, or what did it make you feel like afterwards?
So honestly, like, so when AskJenn first came out and we put out the question box, we got 500 questions. So we was rocking with the season based off all those questions we had. But of course, like, these are random questions coming in. So some questions might be repeats. Some of them might not be as well thought out. Like, some of them was not as good. So like in the interim, I'm like, I can't stop filming. I have to figure out like what else is doing it. It was just natural for me to be like, I know a lot of people who was doing a lot of sweet things, cool things. I was like, I can just talk to them just to fill up the fact that, you know, people wasn't asking questions in my question box no more. And that turned into something like completely different. I think my value, honestly, is being able to have relationships and being able to carry conversations. That's just something that I've always been able to do. My background, I'm a social worker. So, like, being able to break down very complex topics and have them be something that is very applicable, very personable, and like something that I feel like people are able to relate to is just something that I was doing in my everyday life anyway. So I was like, I could definitely break down and do an interview, and it turned out to be very successful.
It's the core skills tree that it just transfers. I feel like those are the transferable skills that everybody has, but it's different ways. And for you, it's always been anything to do with sociability, I feel like. So when that goes into
Big
that,
yapper, it worked out for me.
Big yapper. So I guess that goes to the next question would be, once you were able to get to that notoriety standpoint, because at this point I feel like you can't go anywhere without people knowing who you are.
I thank God. I'm grateful.
Knowing who you are, what you do, and always want to come up to you. So I guess, has there ever been times where people have been weird? I mean, men, I feel like, are definitely weird. Niggas is weird. That's just putting out there right now.
Okay.
But has there ever been a time where you've been doing events or being a brand ambassador, or even being on your show, where people have asked definitely weird questions or just been weird to you in public?
I feel like there's this persona or this understanding that I do not like men, and that is like 100% not true. Someone has even gone as far as saying like, oh, you don't never have men on your show. I didn't know AskJenn was for men. I thought this was a show for women. I'm like, I've interviewed Dusty McFly, I've interviewed Mac Nichols, I've interviewed Dennis Reed. Like, men come on my show. For you to say I don't talk to or I don't interview men, that just shows like you're not tapped in, and that's okay. The episodes are available on YouTube for you to watch at any point. But absolutely, I'm like, I celebrate and I highlight and I say good things about men all the time. Unfortunately, when women write into my show, sometimes men are not the good party in the conversation that's going on. And unfortunately, it makes y'all look bad. And unfortunately, that stuff is good content and it get amplified, and that's what goes viral. But it does not mean it's a dislike. And again, like you said about being weird, I feel like men are more apprehensive about supporting me just because of whatever like preconceived notions that they have. But it's just like, baby, tap in, see the full picture. Like, I be on your side sometimes, but a lot of times y'all be on the wrong side.
A lot of times.
And I hate that for y'all.
But I think like whenever I talk about like my women friends, about like the guys they date, or even just in general how men act, it is some weirdness going on. And on top of that, niggas just ain't shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
A lot of times.
So you got it. I'm not a woman.
I got a laid out plan. If y'all want me to sit up and lie, go on some other show, that ain't me. That's not what I'm about. That's not what my show is about.
Listen,
I'm going to keep it super plain. I'm going to keep it real. And sometimes, y'all don't be on the right side.
I agree. I think, and that's the reason why I even have you on the show, because authenticity speaks, and that's the reason why I do this show, is I want people to be themselves and being authentic to them. And with that, you have no problem at all letting people or anybody know who you are in general. And you have a very, very big personality, because you know how to talk, you know how to do what you do very, very well. The next question would probably be, I watched the Baumgartner interview, and you spoke about mood music. So for you in this time, what would be the playlist or music that you would pick to describe your moment right now on this show?
Oh my gosh. So rap wise, y'all know women is running stuff for the most part. Like the girls got bars. Anything Megan Thee Stallion, so like Boa, I play that song almost every single day. Okay, JT every single day. What the rap girls is just doing it for me. We got it in the bag. I'm like, Cardi B, put it on the floor again. Lotto, like the girls got it. It's just like, I'm really, like I said about AskJenn that I'm gonna get us 5 years. I'm in year 3. I have a lot to prove if I really want this to come to fruition into 5 years like I planned. So it's just like, girl, get on your shit. And the rap girls be motivating me.
Year 3 going into year 4, I feel like you, first off, from the beginning, it probably was a little bit nerve wracking. Like, oh, I'm doing this for the first time.
It's like I'm doing this for the first time, and then I'm doing this for the first time, and it's successful. Oh, and then I'm doing this for the first time, it's successful, and it's growing. And I'm doing this for the first time, it's successful, it's growing, and people want more of me. And I still go to work every day, and I still am a mom, and I still am a partner. And it's just like I'm wearing all these hats, and it's just like, how do I make sure that everybody in my life who wants a piece of Jenn is satisfied? And it's just like, it's a lot of inner work that go into it. And I really feel like at least the last like 7 months of this year so far, so much of what I put into AskJenn and AskJenn growing has been me doing more work on myself, making sure that I'm organized, making sure that I'm, managing my time well, making sure that I'm managing like my diet and my mental health well. Like I was talking to you a little bit about this off camera. Some weeks I am going out Thursday through Sunday. Like those are days that I'm away from my home that I probably can't cook. Those are days that I'm probably out eating anything. Those are days that I'm probably drinking every single day. And it's just like, I have to make sure that I'm actually like taking the time and doing the inner work to take care of myself to make sure that I'm able to show up brightly for everyone who's in my life.
Word of the day is balance.
Hello. And I do my best. And baby, I don't balance, but the shit get done.
No, and that's one thing I have noticed within myself was that like before when I was a chef, like I didn't really care about.
Ooh, I don't even want to talk about chefs. Chefs don't live good lives.
We literally, people don't understand this. People think that like, oh, we're chefs. We eat
you
good
cook food and you eat no.
We eat like shit. Let's put out there. We eat like it was times like we would just to get yourself to get some fuel. You're probably go to Wendy's or McDonald's, whatever the case may be, and people were like, well, you're a chef. Why don't you just cook at home? Nobody. You ever heard
I cook at work.
You ever heard of an accountant want to still count numbers after they get home? No, of course not. So I want to go from cooking to going home to cook again. I don't want to bring my work home. Hey, yo, give me a HelloFresh anytime.
Okay. HelloFresh, reach out to my dog. I hear y'all on all these other podcasts giving out sponsorships. Give my dog a HelloFresh box and code.
Hey, look, you feel me? Hey, look, you give me that. Hey, if you get that going, I'll be on AskJenn tomorrow. You ain't gonna ask me nothing. But no, but that is a thing that people don't understand with chefs and things like that. And we bring up balanced organization. I've learned a lot comes from understanding your time management is very, very important. What you talked about, being a mom, being a partner, being a persona, being you first off, and having a job. So we know how hard it is. I know how hard it is. I guess for you, what are some times that you feel like not balances you, but what are times that for Jenn, what are some grounding things or things that you like to do for yourself that keeps you not going, but keeps you level-headed?
I have to be outside at least like once a week. When I say outside, I mean like in nature. I'm not a full hippie bitch, but I'm a semi-hippie bitch. As far as like being outside in the grass, like in the sun, grounding, stretching and stuff like that's very big for me. Spending time with my daughter is definitely number 2, like especially with the work that I do. I spend a lot of time outside of my home. And there are just some days that I'm like, is my daughter gonna grow up and think like I hate her? And then I realized like, if I was her dad, like nobody would question this. Like being out hustling, like going to get money or growing your legacy or growing your business, nobody would second guess it. Because I'm a mom, it adds a second layer of guilt. So making sure that I'm spending adequate time with my daughter is really important to me. School is out, so like she goes to camp during the day. We're at home together most times during the evening. So like that provides a better opportunity for us to be able to spend more time with each other. And scheduling joy. I do not let good things happen to me by chance. I'm very intentional about making sure good things happen to me. So making sure that I do go to that concert or I get that massage or I get that facial or I make sure that I'm spending time with my friends or I do go to that birthday party, making sure that I prioritize those things. Like I said, I did not go this whole month with recorded AskJenn because I'm having fun. I'm prioritizing joy right now. For me to be able to come back and have good episodes of AskJenn, I need to have a lot of fun.
You gotta have that time to just enjoy life and experience life, so you can
and make it in that joy and that that happiness intentional. Create time for it.
Exactly. I think that's one of the biggest things that like when people think about making content, first off, is not easy. I mean, I'm on the beginning end of it, so I'm starting to really understand it. But like when it comes to music or whatever, people who listen to artists and it's like, well, I want an album or a project every year, and it's like that's not how this works. In the
That's
same way, when
not
it
how
comes to
this
content
works.
creation, is where you want breaks for yourself to actually enjoy life, so you can come back and bring those experiences back to whatever you
And
do.
you need to be inspired to create. When you are consistently in the process of creating, it is very hard to find inspiration because you are always doing. When I'm living life or when I go through different things and I talk to different people and I have different experiences, it makes my show better because, like you said, I have more things to pull from. Yeah, it's very hard to create when you are just solely in the silo of creating. It's like dead.
No, I
Yeah.
get that. Which goes to the next question. Has there ever been questions that you were like, I want to ask this, but I'm not. I know who you are, but has there ever been some where you're just like, this is a dumbass question, or is this like you've seen a question, you like, yo, I can't ask this, but I'll probably send you a DM, whoever. How
All
does
the
that work for
time.
you?
So people who don't, first of all, my show is anonymous. So people
Okay, that's
who send me questions and I have no idea who they are. I always say, to put it in perspective, this could be my best friend talking about me, and I would have no idea. I literally don't know who asked the questions
We
on
don't
my
need
show.
that.
We don't need that. But yes, all the time. Like, for example, and this is what I like to bring up most of the time. People come up to me like, I would love to be on your show. I think AskJenn is so great. Like, I would like to be on your show. And people, it's so fun being a guest on my show, right? I do all the research. I create all these questions. I clip it up really, really nice, and I'm able to create this episode for you. But I have to explain to people like AskJenn is not a podcast, it's a talk show. Like, think about when you were watching Tyra Banks when you were younger, or when you were watching Oprah. If somebody had a book or a movie to promote or something like that, that's when they came on to Oprah. Like, that's when they saw my girl. I cannot pull an episode out of thin air, out of anything that you are doing. You have to have something going on that I think is interesting enough and I believe in enough to put in front of the masses. Because again, as I'm building my audience, I find a responsibility of what I have to do for them. Just because somebody paid me or just because somebody said they want to be on the show doesn't mean I feel like I don't want the responsibility of putting that in front of my audience. I want to bring them something of value. So when you say like, what I don't want people to ask me to, I want people to understand, if you are going to inquire about being on my show, have you some motion, because it is very hard to create an episode out of thin air with somebody who don't have anything going on or something I don't have value in.
And that's what we were talking about that. Actually, y'all gonna see this one day. But on the solo episode I had was about the update, was about what I wanted the show to be about, and the show is what you already talked about, like beautifully, eloquently, in terms of like, look, I want somebody to come on the show and they gotta have something going for themselves, but most importantly, like you gotta be able to. I can't talk to a brick wall.
Mhm.
You're not a brick wall, by the way.
Thank you.
But I can't have someone on the show who's not doing all the things that you already talked about, and that's the biggest thing. Like people were like, "Oh, I want to be on the show," so it's like, well, like what? Not to sound like an asshole, but it's like I need substance in terms of like what is it that I want to be able to amplify for your platform or your brand.
Exactly. There are a million podcasts that you can just go on and rant and talk about BS.
We
Like,
need
there,
less niggas with
there
mics, by
are
the way.
spaces for that, and I am just not that, and I want people to recognize that.
Yeah. So
Do something sweet and you'll be on my show. Do something that's visible and you'll be on my show. Do something that makes me inspired to be like, I need to know the person who did this or created this, and you can be on my show. Everything else, good luck. Somebody else will find you.
no, I get that. So we're in year 3 right now with AskJenn. Where do you see yourself? Let's go year 10.
Woo.
I don't want to say year 5. I feel like we 2 years away from that, so that's too close. But year 10, AskJenn is where for you?
I would say either
Are we
on my own streaming platform or consistent space on someone's streaming platform. Me hosting wellness experiences. I'm very like hard on cultivating community, especially like through my show. People ask me very serious questions as much as they ask me hard questions, and I want people to be able to find in-person spaces to be able to talk to people and build community in that. So nationwide, AskJenn, being able to host experiences all around the US. Freedom. Like, I value having freedom with my time. And we just mentioned a little earlier, all 5 of those hats that I juggle. I hope that AskJenn creates a space that it will no longer be a juggle, that I will be able to prioritize those different things in my life and be able to have this show be the reason why I'm able to do that.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. I thought you were about to go the whole Oprah, like, you get a car route. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, look, I'll be in the crowd for that one.
I'm like, baby, the planet is dying. People need less things. People need more experiences. And I want to do that.
We can settle on not getting a Tesla, but we can get like other electricity.
There we
cars,
go.
you feel me?
Or mass transit. Like, what's wrong with reliable mass transit? Everyone does not need a vehicle. Everyone does not need multiple vehicles. We just need a way to get places. And hey, that can be a train. That can be a light rail.
And that's the thing that I liked about your interview with Governor Whitmore, was that you asked a question about public trans. You already talked about that already. But I think that's the most important thing. You know, I know we are the Motor City and we love our cars, but there's times where like people who live in Ann Arbor or Ypsi or even in Royal Oak or I forgot, like Birmingham or whatever the case may be, and they want to have these jobs in the city, but they don't have a car to get to them. And for me, I'm like, we've had the people mover, but it's only internal.
It's in a circle.
Yeah.
The queue line goes down the street. I'm like, people need ways to get around. And then when you talk about mass transit, I'm like, when you talk about Ann Arbor, there is a bus that comes from Detroit to Ann Arbor, I think like 30 times a day. So I'm like, if you invest in that infrastructure, people will use it. Invest in the infrastructure. And another thing, like when you talk about like the Motor City and the reliance on it, it is, having a car is becoming a public safety issue. Auto accidents are up God knows how many %. And this is just through the pandemic. And even this is just something I notice as a driver, like when I'm on a highway or on the street. People are so pressed to drive a car, they don't even care that the car's safe. I see cars with front missing, back missing, airbags exploded, hoods being tied down with like bungee cords. I'm like, you need a car so bad to get around that you are willing to put yourself in a death box every single day just to be able to have that transportation. That is a problem.
Yeah, not to mention, hey, look, I ain't trying to touch on nobody, but there's niggas out there that don't got insurance.
Hey,
don't got
it is driving a car is a public safety issue. I want more. That is literally the biggest call for mass transit for me. Like, it is just not safe anymore. It's the cell phones, distracted driving. It's just not safe anymore. We need mass transit. Yeah. Fix it.
I mean, I think I was talking to my grandma about this, and this is off topic, but like,
no, we on topic.
We were talking about like when they had the subway system, but they pretty much derailed it. Ironically, that's not a joke. I promise you, I wasn't.
You're good at that.
But they derailed it because of the cars and how Motor City, GM, Ford all had this plan to just have.
Oh, this is all about money.
And that's the thing, was that like we had a subway integration system underground, and we just scrapped it because of cars.
And there has been many urban planners that have come and designed and planned out rail systems or subway systems that will work, and they just say the automotive industry money is just too good for these politicians to give up. Unfortunately, the Ford pockets is deep. We seen they did that $1 billion restoration of that old ass building. Imagine if they just invested in some type of like light rail or mass transportation. Ooh.
And that's the biggest thing that I talk with my cousin all the time, shout out Constance, is that like we need something like that, whether it's something like Chicago or New York where it's trains or like subways, or even Japan, like you said, like a light rail where we're going, not even from Michigan, but just from New York to LA.
And like I said, people have planned it. And another thing that I want to mention is Michigan is dealing with mass population loss. You don't live here no more. He don't live here no more. Like we are watching it in real time. If people had options to get around other than picking up $1,000 bill every month, I'm pretty sure people would be more inclined to move here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
insurance rates already sky high. It's just like people don't want to have a car for the fact that insurance gonna drive the car note from being, something affordable to being something that, got you penny pinching every single month. But it's just like, I feel like that would make the state more attractive.
I hate cars. I'm sorry.
I'm a car hater too. I'm a car hater too. No, you're not alone. I'm a car hater.
So that's one of the biggest things, I guess, for me to you. Is there anybody you want to interview, like moving forward, that you look? I mean, I feel like you got Glow, maybe Meg, but like, is there anybody in the city or just
Cash Doll. I'm so tired of begging
Katie?
Cash Doll to
Oh,
come
you-
on AskJenn. Oh, this is not the first time someone has asked me who is a guest who I have not interviewed, who I want to interview. Cash Doll, I want to see you. Come on AskJenn. My girl just dropped her daughter. Congratulations. I too am a girl mom. We have so much to talk about. Cash Doll, come see me, girl.
We need you.
We
I
need
mean, I ain't
you.
got pulled like that, but if I
Cash.
did,
And the thing is, I got pulled. She's so busy. I got pulled. So,
I mean,
Cash,
yeah, you do got pulled.
Cash Doll, come see me.
You didn't interview the governor.
I said
That's as high as it's gonna get.
And the thing is, for me, it's not even the governor. After I interview and the thing is, I interview Alicia Baumgartner and the governor like within a month of each other.
Mm.
After I interviewed Alicia Baumgartner, I said, "Baby, I can talk to anybody. Come see
anybody.
me." I was like, athletes on my show, yeah, I can do anything.
Look, I appreciate you even being on this show because like
I'm
having
grateful.
somebody like
You got me with the food. Can't lie.
Thank you. I appreciate that because had the food been terrible or you was like, look, the food is good or the food was okay, but like, what are we gonna do?
Oh, the food was good. I'm actually still here for this interview because I thought you might start cooking something else.
Hey, look, we can go back there. You want me to? I got you. But no, man, I think that what you're doing is amazing. This is my first time ever meeting you as well and having a genuine interaction. What you do for the city is amazing, and on top of that, you're continuing to build your brand up. AskJenn is getting to a point where it's at this point, I think it is nationwide.
I hope so.
You're going to get to that point where you want to go. Whereas year 10, you probably gonna be throwing out light rails at people. I ain't gonna hold you up.
Okay. Give me the lobby for mass transit. I'll be happy to use every single episode as a commercial to get rid of cars. I do it.
So my last question before we get out of here, what is it looking forward for? What is it now that you're going to be doing for AskJenn in the future? Like, let's just say the next 3 months.
Live shows. People have been asking me about another live show for quite some time. I have one upcoming. I pray it happens by the fall. And the reason why I'm saying fall is because it's June and how big I want it to be and how detailed I want it to be and how grand I want it to be. Baby, I need some time. So another live show. Merch. I feel like AskJenn needs merch. I think I'm sweet enough and I say enough good shit that people need to see it on t-shirts and hats.
Give me a hoodie, I got you.
So merch, and of course more personalized cultivated wellness experiences for women. I did a very nice experience for Mental Health Awareness Month last month. I have one upcoming in July with my friend and co-producer of AskJenn, Erin. She's the owner of Hey Me First, which is a mental health full like wellness brand. So we are doing something upcoming. So more in-person interactions. I need us off the net and touching grass, and I got us.
Y'all heard it here first. I think that might have been like maybe a reveal on the show.
Oh yeah, a slight exclusive.
Slight exclusive. So I'm gonna take that. But thank you so much, Jenn, for even
my
coming
pleasure.
On my show.
Thank you so much for having me and making me a rich girl. It's about to be a summer staple. We eating rich girls all summer and drinking martinis.
Easy. We out. Thank you so much.
My
Jenn.
pleasure.
And